So guys, The Flash Season 6 Episode 13. Did I like it? Did I hate it? Well, this is what you guys will find out in this video. Yo, what is going on guys? Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 6. As you guys may have noticed, I started this video in a very different way than I normally do. But I kind of enjoyed doing it like that. I just wanted to test out how it would seem, and it seems pretty cool. I like it more, so I might do that more often. But anyways, this will be my review for The Flash Season 6 Episode 13, otherwise entitled Grodd Friended Me. Before I do that though, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And obviously, spoiler alert, if you guys have not watched this episode, then stop watching this video because I will be covering some spoilers that you guys wouldn't want to hear from me. So click off this video, go watch the episode and come back. So this episode kicks off with Barry walking around the city and he's looking for his parents' graves. But due to crisis, the grave is no longer there in that very location. And instead of some high hill or something. So he's really confused and he gets an alert from his phone. So it's obviously a meta alert, so he has to go check it out. And we find out his eyes and ears are Camilla and Chester. Now they brought Chester over here to replace Cisco, obviously, because Cisco is in that break, if you want to call it. But Barry gets that alert, as I said. He suits up and he runs to that location. But Hartley Rathaway has become a villain now, as he's robbing one of the stores. And Barry is confused. He's like, well, what happened? Why are you robbing the store? And Hartley's just like, you think I forgot what you guys have done? And obviously Barry is confused because he was a Paragon during Crisis, so he doesn't have the new Crisis memories like everyone in the world has. So the Paragons basically have their normal pre-Crisis memories. And obviously Team Flash have their memories before Crisis as well. I'm not sure about Camilla and Chester. Those may have been different, but the other members of the Team Flash certainly do have their pre-Crisis memories. But essentially, as I said, Hartley Rathaway was he's robbing the place, and Barry finds out that Hartley becoming a villain is a crisis change. Now he then runs away, and we find we see that he has some new superpowers, and that he has this canary cry which allows him to fly, so he no longer just needs those gauntlets, so he could just scream and go away, but he flies away. And then Chester tracks him down, and I thought this was such a great opening for an episode. So he ends up going to the opposite street to catch Hartley, but then due to Crisis, as I said, that location is no longer the same location. So now there's a train track over there. So it looked like Barry got run over by the train, but obviously he phases through the train, and he's just since when was there a train? And I thought that was such a great way to start off the episode. Now we then get Barry in Star Labs, and he's using Gideon to find out how many other crisis changes there were, and I cannot remember the exact number because it was huge, but Gideon said there was something over 1 trillion different changes. So yeah, that is a lot of changes. And Chester obviously finds out that Barry is the Flash as well. Now we do have 2 different side stories as well, but I will get to one later on. But this one is Nash and Allegra, and they're trying to power this machine. But this time we get Sherlock Wells appear. He's talking to who was it? Nash. But then Allegra finds out from the picture that she's related to Nash in some sort of way. At first I thought she was his daughter, but then later on in the episode when he talks with Killer Frost, we find out that she was an ex-employee. He treated her like a daughter, I believe. I am very interested to see if they will dive deeper in that, but for now, it still is a mystery. Now, Barry puts on Gideon to do something, but due to what Chester has done, Barry faints and ends up in like Grodd's memories from the past. Now, Barry finds out that he's been caged up and he sees like past versions of like Caitlyn and stuff. And he's like, "Let me out, what are you doing?" Things like that. And he's confused. He's like, "Why is Caitlyn acting like that and stuff?" But then when Barry looks like at his reflection from the water, he finds out that he is Grodd at this stage. But then Grodd is asking help from Barry to escape this prison-like place that he's trapped in. But Barry obviously doesn't trust Grodd, so what does he do? As soon as he escapes, he does that Superman punch to Grodd and knocks him out. But after that, we find out that the gatekeeper is Solovar, which I thought was handled pretty well. Solovar defeats the Flash pretty easily, which I thought was disappointing. Because like Barry's a speedster, so like, he could like literally like run away and stuff like that. But Solovar defeats him. Like how? How? I don't get it. But he tries to defeat him in the same way as season 3, where he does like that reverse flash phasing hand as well, which I thought was like a nice callback. But then we find out that Grodd knows about Crisis on Infinite Earths, as Barry's like, "Grodd, you will never change," and then he's like, "Oh, what about the Crisis on Infinite Worlds that he refers to it as?" But it's obviously Infinite Earths. Now Grodd wants to live in peace with like other gorillas in Gorilla City, instead of taking over the entire world. So Barry feels bad for Grodd and he accepts the help. We then get Barry and Grodd team up against Solovar, in which Barry and Grodd merge powers, and holy crap, that was so awesome. So we get Flash Grodd essentially, and he gets all, like Grodd gets all of Flash's powers. It was just so cool seeing a speedster gorilla. We see Grodd in that form versus Solovar, and like I liked like how they handled it. Like the CGI as well in daytime was so good as well. And like some parts that I was disappointed with was like Solovar beats, as I said, a speedster up, which I didn't understand. But again, like Grodd does catch back up, so like he phases through Solovar's punches and stuff, and then he climbs a tree and then does like this punch and knocks out Solovar. But what they have to do before is to separate before exiting the place. Otherwise, they would stay like that in that version. So Barry would be in Grodd's subconscious still. But Chester ends up saving the day, which I thought was a good redemption after what he has done. But Grodd is released from Argus, and Chester also finds Barry's parents' graves as well. Now, the second side story, which I'm mentioning, with the Mirror Iris, and she goes to CCPD to Joe West, and she asks for like those Joseph Carver like files, and obviously Joe says no, and then we see Iris explode, and I'm like, "Joe, how don't you notice that this isn't your daughter?" And then we also had the real Iris and Eva McCulloch trying to escape the mirror world. Well, not really trying to escape, but she's acting. Eva McCulloch is acting, and we find out that's the case due to the ending, where she's working with Mirror Iris. And I'm guessing that they're the same people, because like the two burns that they had ended up in this, like they both have the burns. So Eva could project herself as Mirror Iris, which I think is pretty weird. Now I don't know why she doesn't let Iris go. I'm still not convinced that she's a villain, because like she's trapped there for like 6 years. So it's like, so far it's like impossible for her to like, be full on good. So she would have gone insane, because like she's trapped in there for 6 years. So but I'm not convinced that she's still a full on villain. I just think that she wants revenge on Joseph Carver, which is why we have the Iris kicking in. So yeah, but I am very interested to see what will happen as soon as Iris finds out that Eva is working with this Mirror Iris. But then the more like WTF moment, and it was that like post post-credit ending where freaking Sherlock Wells goes in and confronts Nash, and he says he is coming. But when doing that, holy crap, we get him vibrate his head like Reverse Flash, and we get those like red glowing eyes. Oh my god, I got chills in that scene. Now, like, this was so cool, and I said that I said he would be back. I said it. I clearly said Reverse Flash would be back, and I said that like 3 weeks ago or something. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how Thawne plays into all of this. Now, the thing with Thawne is that he can't be one of those dead Welleses because he's technically Eobard Thawne, not Harrison Wells. So he's not technically Harrison Wells. So whatever is affecting Nash, it cannot be like Thawne cannot be one of the side effects. So like this is Eobard Thawne disguised as Sherlock Wells, or this is what I think at least. Now obviously Kid Flash is back next episode as well, and they did say that they would be dealing with like a familiar villain. So I'm guessing that now that villain could potentially be Reverse Flash. And if that's the case, I would be very interested to see it. But the thing is, like, I think Thawne would deserve like a better story arc than just like one episode. But I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say anything. But in terms of the episode, overall, I thought it was a great episode, one of the best in the season. So I will give it like a 9.7 out of 10, with my highlight character being Speedster Grodd because of that badass fight scene. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this episode. And I will see you guys in my next video.